Hey, we're live.
Howdy, y'all. Thanks for
How's
joining this week's Stack Your Live. RJ, how are you?
and I wore black because today is a very somber day. Um, we're having a memorial service, Matt.
Are we? Are we, though?
I mean, it sure seems dead. It sure seems dead. Um, and it sure seems like sometimes when things are too good to be true for a long time or for several years, they in fact will one day become not true anymore because people do actions that kill them.
People do actions that kill them, or do banks do actions that kill them because people did actions that banks didn't realize people would do?
So, all right, let's set the stage so people understand what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, this is true.
Matt, you are Mr. Newsman.
I am. In fact, yeah.
Please, Mr. Newsman, tell us exactly what's going on.
Yeah. So earlier this week, there was rumor that leaked on Reddit that the Citi Custom Cash would be discontinued as of May 28th, and that on the 29th, there would be no further publicly available custom cash. I ran with the rumor, started picking up steam. The same poster, this was the same poster who said that the Rewards Plus card was going away from Citi, was going to get replaced. And they followed up with a bank, with an internal document from the bank. And so as soon as I saw the internal document, I'm like, yep, they've got it. It's real. So I started, I've done a couple other videos, but the Citi Custom Cash is currently no more. Now, some of the things that came up in some of the videos that I've done in the last couple of days, folks have mentioned the Citi Strata Select trademark. That is also dead. That died actually late last year. I didn't realize that it died. There is a new trademark for a credit card and credit card services that is called the Citi Empower. Empower still plays on the same thread of kind of choosing your own adventure with points and how your spend can generate points. So we will see what happens there. But for now, the Citi Custom Cash is no more, which is interesting, to say the least. We're going to have to see what happens going forward with it, but like Empower was literally trademarked 2 weeks ago, so we don't know. I don't know that that's soon enough for them to be able to utilize that as a new card. We will have to see what happens going forward. But yeah,
I was so excited. My soda exploded as soon as I opened it, so I had to go take care of that real quick. But I did hear everything Matt said. No, so this kind of came out of nowhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was not on anyone's bingo card for 2026. And I saw it when it, hold on guys, I gotta adjust my ISO ever so slightly. Wrong direction. There we go. I saw the post when it hit Reddit, when it hit credit card Reddit. And people were basically, and I think the Hyatt thing with people putting out the incorrect Hyatt news and then coming back and being like, yeah, it was just for a class or whatever, has made people less trusting, right? So when this came up, people were very much like, I don't believe you, bro. And I think there was two things going on. I think people didn't want to believe it. And yes, we are much different at 1x than we are at 1.3. I usually listen to my podcast 1.3, and occasionally I'll do the video on YouTube for different podcasts I listen to. And I'm like, they're drunk. They're all drunk right now. So yes, anyway, I think people didn't want to believe it. And I think there was no precursor to this, right? There was not, it was down for a half a day and then it showed back up. It was not like internal leaks like months ago that they were thinking about it. There was not a survey that went out. So I think that this is one of those situations where people were genuinely surprised. People were very, very surprised it happened, and it happened the way it did. So I think those two things are why Reddit sort of had this information, didn't believe it, and then you pointed out it was down. It was down for me. I text some work colleagues and I'm like, hey, I have a weird question to ask you. Can you go to Citi.com and just see if this credit card is here? Because I work with people all across the country. So I was
Yeah.
like, hey, I need to know from your location, and I don't trust a VPN to necessarily do this. I need it like fresh and straight from the area. And half of them had it up and half of them didn't. So I think we sort of had these mixed things going on. I don't know what I make of this. Like I make several things of it, but I don't know if I 100% understand the rationale for it to happen right now. I understand why they probably did it, but I don't know if I understand today's rationale, like why this happened, May 27th or May 28th or whatever, 2026.
Yeah, that is an interesting question as to like why now. I don't know why the custom cash. So the custom cash in itself, as a 5% earning card in one category on $500 in spend per month per person, like per account, is not that big of a deal, honestly.
No.
Like the force multiplier with that card comes when you have
7 of them.
Army of them. Yeah, like when you've got a platoon, when you've got a squadron, and then you've got a platoon, and then if you're able to produce a battalion of custom caches, yeah, you've got a real force multiplier on your hands. But as a singular card in your setup is not that particularly intriguing. And also Miyadi one. But having 3 or 4 of them can add up, because it's one card that if you maxed out every single month, hit 500 on the nose, didn't spend a dime after that, collected your 2,500 points, passed go, did it again the next month, you would end up with 30,000 points on the year. 30,000 points, not a lot of points, all things considered. Now,
Right.
30,000 American Airlines miles, certainly nothing to sneeze at, sure, but if you only were running a double cache and a custom cache, it's not like you were causing Citi significant harms with that. And if you were transferring, you were only getting like 0.7 points back. So like 1,000 points was only going to get you 700 points. Still return on investment in the spend, because that 5 times points became like a realized value of 3.4% cash back, which isn't bad.
I do wonder if Citi, so originally, or at least in theory, and my Siri just went off. So in theory, right, you were only supposed to have one. You were not supposed to be able to have the small army. It was supposed to be sort of you can have one, you cannot have 7 situation. And that obviously is not what happened. I do wonder if they had enforced that. You can apply for one and maybe you can product change one, right? So everybody can have 2. If they had got to that point where 2 was the max, you can have 18 double caches if you want, but you can only have 2 custom caches. If that would have saved the card, because it would have cut down on a lot of the shenanigans where people are literally putting label makers because they have one for every single category, and they're maxing every single category out every single month through whatever means, right? Some legitimate, some not, right? I'm sure with groceries and gas, it's not that hard to max out. So I do wonder if Citi sort of had an own goal there in terms of we put rules in place, you could only have one. And then we decided through our infinite wisdom that instead of actually letting you only have one, we're going to let you have 7. And I do think that was not the smartest move if you wanted the card to continue in perpetuity. I don't necessarily know, once they landed AA, they wanted the card to continue anyway.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that needs to be. Thank you, Juan. Greatly appreciate that. And the thumbnail tonight was all RJ. Looking at it from the macro lens, I think
Very excited about it.
Is just them streamlining, like they said. I can't imagine custom cash abuse is a big deal for them, but all their new cards. And yeah, I don't necessarily think that it was all abuse, right? I do think AA has something to do with it because they have had to cut transfer rates at 2 transfer partners already. They also, did they cut Cathay? I don't remember if they cut Cathay. Oh, no. It would have been Emirates that they would have cut. But I don't think that it's the abuse necessarily, right? The abuse is only a small portion of things. I do think that if you were cashing out at 5% and getting 5 cents per dollar on everything, maybe that was leading to some issues. There's also, the whole thing of these are not the calmest of economic waters at the moment.
No, they are not.
And so they could be streamlining their card setup and also preparing for or like tightening the belt, because we've seen other moves with other companies to tighten the belt. Rupert also mentioned Synergy can stand alone as well. The custom cash is a one-trick pony, doesn't fit their new model. And if that is the new model, that could certainly be the case. We have to see what their plan is going forward, because they did say that they're going to be focusing on credit cards this year and prioritizing their credit card portfolio and making changes to the credit card portfolio. Don't know what the rest of those changes are going to be. This was one of them. They don't have a lot of new cards in the pipeline because Empower is the only thing that I found.
I do wonder if this is going to be the theme of the year. Like, Amex has 3 MR earning personal cards. That's it. Like, you got 3 options. It's green, gold, or platinum. That's it. They have 2 cashback cards that everyone forgets exists, except if you get a really good offer for like Disney Plus or something. They don't have a ton of cards. Chase doesn't have a ton of personal cards that are not co-brands, right? Like, it's a couple of Sapphires, the Freedom cards, and that's basically it, the Slate and things like that, right? Like, it's a relatively small group. Wells Fargo, even if you include their co-brands, don't have a lot of cards, right? Like, it's a relatively small pool. Citi of cards, a lot of them are co-brands, and a lot of them are getting all the AA cards in and sort of creating something from whole cloth. And I wonder if they really want to focus on that. They really want to focus on, okay, we brought in cards from Barclays. We have the Strata line that we're really into. We have all of these sort of fires going. What card can we get rid of that is going to get us in the news? Because this definitely is going to get Citi front of mind for people, good or bad.
Yep.
Like, people in our own Discord applied for this card that didn't necessarily want it, but they didn't want to miss out on it. So they're getting some new people and people who are going to spend on the card, right? You don't get this card if you're not going to spend on it for at least the $500. So I have a feeling that, like, they looked at everything and went, well, this is the easiest card for us to go. You don't want to give up the 2X card or the 2% card, right? Like, you don't want to have that be gone, because that's an easy one to rebrand, right? Like, you can rebrand that as a Strata card really easily. But this card, I don't think has that natural place, like we were saying, and it becomes this place where it's a lot easier to get rid of it. And if they bring it back in another format, I think it's a lot easier for them than to try to change it as it was.
Yeah. One, I hope never. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I got a random mailer for them. Actually, I didn't. Somebody in my family who died like 3 years ago got a random mailer for them. I am the person who goes and gets the mail, so I am the one who gets to sort through all of the credit card offers that we get. And I saw it was like Credit One, but the way they design it, you would not know it was Credit One like right off the bat. Like they really make it special when you look at it. I don't I don't think they'll call it the Strata Custom. Um, they might bring something with a 5X. Maybe they'll put it on the top end card. Maybe they'll go up to the top end card and just be like, hey, you can have one rotating category. If you don't want your City Nights, here's a rotating category. You can choose City Nights or a 5%.
Wonder how much annoyance this card gives people who barely go over the cap and only only get 1%. Don't understand how it's only one category.
I don't think it's actually that big of a deal though. Like, here's the thing. We all care super much if I spend $10 over that cap. I only got 10 points. I didn't get 50 points, right? I don't know in the grand scheme of a year if you go a little bit over the cap, if it actually matters though, right? Like, if you spend $540 on it in a month, do you really care that much? Like, legitimately, do you actually, like, would it keep you up at night if you went $40 over the cap?
Me, no. I'd also set a spend limit on the card. Like, you can go in and set spend limits on your cards. Yeah. Most competent IT departments with credit card companies can go in and just say, hey, I only want to spend $500 on this card. So, yeah, 540 wouldn't bother. An annual fee on a custom cash would certainly be something. I think if they were going to bring back the custom cash with an annual fee, though, they would have to allow it to transfer 1-to-1.
I mean, they could just turn it into a shopper's cash from US Bank, because I have one. I don't know if I'm keeping it after renewal. I genuinely don't know if I'm keeping it after renewal. It's $95. First year's free. I get 6% back at Walmart and Amazon. So, like, that card, you can do damage with that card. And it does have caps, I understand. But, like, if you max it out every quarter, you can do pretty well.
$2,500 a quarter on those two retailers?
I don't remember. I would have to look it up. Somebody in the chat, please tell us what the cap is on the shopper's cash. I don't have it off the top of my head. I usually don't get close to the cap. That if they did something like that, right? They add a second thing. So it's two 5% categories, and they put $95 on. I still think people will take that deal if they raise the cap a little bit. You have to double the cap in that situation.
Yeah, they pulled it right at the close of bank business. So like 4 o'clock Eastern, it was gone. They said end of the day, and we don't know.
Yeah. That there is no chance. Every person who watches this podcast and watches credit card YouTube could call, and it's not going to change anything because they probably did it because of AA, and that is a bigger deal.
Yeah, it's going to be a serious question to see how Richie, that's funny. Knowing your current situation, yeah, that would have been interesting if you had pulled that off. It will be interesting to see, like, Citi's not going to say anything about this, right? Citi's main comment is we are looking to continue to streamline our cards and provide value for our customers. And if you want a cashback card, there's the double cash. But they've been making moves over the last year to like really limit the point. Like if you just have a Strata Premier or a Strata or a Strata Elite, you can't cash out at 1-to-1 1 cent to 1 point equals 1 cent when cashing out for cashback now. Like the Strata Elite and the Strata Premier are 0.75 cents per point, and the Strata Elite is half a cent per point. Now, if you have a double cash on your account and all of your points pool together, or you have the custom cash on your account and all of your points pool together, you can cash out at a penny per point. It's not difficult to add those cards, but if all you had was the Strata Premier or the Strata, like you couldn't even get a penny per point. They are making some interesting moves.
I do wonder, like, and you and I have differing opinions on cash out
Mhm.
And that's fine. I don't like dislike 1 cent per point cash out, right? But it is not in my top 10 of things that I think about when I think about points, right? Um, I wonder if by the end of this year, if not the end of next year, if no one's doing one-to-one anymore. If because of how if points get harder to use, I know you don't like it, but if points get harder to use and people start cashing out more often, are we just going to see the one-to-one go away? Because Amex doesn't do it. Citi now doesn't do it unless you have a double cash or an old custom cash. Does I don't know about Chase's one-to-one.
Chase is 1-to-1, but you can't. You used to be able to use any account, but now you have to. Now you have to cash it out into a Chase account, which isn't all that hard, but like it is that
Which will
extra step.
be interesting once they get the Apple stuff, and how all of that is going to work. Does Cap One? I have blocked Cap One from my memory once I gave up my Venture X.
Capital One, if you have points, if you're in the venture side of things, venture can be cashed out at 0.5 cent per point for a statement credit. You cannot cash out your points for a penny per point into your accounts. If you have the Saver or the Quicksilver, or I guess the Discover cards, the Discover It primarily, those can be cashed out at a penny per point, but you can't cash them out directly into your account. You have to request a check. You have to do that online on the website, which is stupid. And then awesome that you were able to get the card product changed. And so, yeah, I don't love that with Capital One, but they do have Travel Eraser, which is definitely true. Had two double caches, probably changed the CDC and the Strata in these last 2 days for a total of 4 custom caches. Hey, there you go. If it'll be interesting if you're just doing it for cash, if that works out. Chase Amazon card still allows you to cash out to an outside bank. Yeah, that is Amazon's secret sauce.
But overall, my point is, I don't know if December 31st of 27, if the biggest banks allow you to do one-to-one anymore. Because what is the incentive on their side of the fence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I can say. If you want to do it as a statement credit, absolutely 1 cent per point, right? If you want to do it as a statement credit, 1 cent per point, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Craig.
If you want to do 1 cent per point statement credit, if you want actual cash in your account, it's not going to be 1 cent per point anymore. Again, this is not me advocating for this. This is where I can see the industry going, because I don't think they want, in times of economic change when it comes to travel, I don't think they want it. Again, this is not RJ. RJ is not saying this should happen. RJ is reading the tea leaves and saying, I could see it happen based on what several of the biggest banks are doing. I don't know what Bank of America is going to do. They're a little bit of an outlier, but I could see it with Chase. Unless you have maybe the Apple account, you have the Apple card, you have the Apple bank account, maybe they'll do it one-to-one there. Apple is going to be fascinating to watch Chase and Apple merge. But overall, I really do wonder if December 31st, 27, there's just not a one-to-one with the biggest banks. We're always going to see it with credit unions and smaller banks, but I do wonder about the biggest banks.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Good evening, all. Off topic a little bit, Matt. Any news on Wells or Uber? I would love to see them team up with a new card with the direction Uber is going. So nothing new. Uber is adding hotels, the ability to book hotels through Expedia into their app. They are looking to slowly attempt to become an everything app in terms of travel. Don't know if they're going to put out a new card. Haven't heard any rumblings there. With Wells, I can tell you next month they're going to be updating their travel portal. I don't know what it's going to look like, but there are changes coming to the Wells Fargo travel portal. I don't have anything else for the rest of the year at the moment with Wells. I know that they're dropping a new card in Q4. It's a co-branded card, but it's not anything amazing. And with that co-brand, I can tell you it is not a travel related card. It is not a hotel related card in any way, shape, or form. Maybe they do something with Uber in the not too distant future. We're just going to have to keep our eyes out for that one. But the fact that it's with Expedia and Expedia is one key, it would be interesting. But I do think that if Uber is going to come out with another credit card, Uber is going to try to go to Amex first for a co-brand partnership first.
Yeah, they have a ton of business with the Amex cards.
Yep.
I could see them put it on the Strata Elite just as a y'all want to pay this annual fee? Go for it. We'll happily give you the points then.
Yep.
This is an excellent question, Curmudgeon.
I don't know. The app has gotten better, for sure. The website is what it is. Like when I did the hey, let's talk about the possibility with Beyond right now, because here's the layout here's the lay of the land. The travel portal website is not good. The banking website itself is sort of fine, but like it is definitely left behind in another era. So yeah, they'll need to keep doing some updates. But the travel portal I know is going to get updated in the not too distant future.
I don't think this is a nerf. I think we use the term nerf to just mean change, to just mean a card has gone away. I understand that nerf is just becoming the ubiquitous term. It drives me nuts because there are nerfs happening. I don't see this as a nerf. I think this is just a card discontinuation. I don't like if you want AA, you got to be in Citi, right? Like, I mean, you can do Atmos. There are not Atmos. What's the one I'm thinking of? Oh, the one you can do AA. You can book AA with
Atmos, Avios, anything in One World.
Yeah, my brain is just not functioning.
Not Cathay is in One World. I don't remember the other One World partners.
It would have been Atmos.
Avios and Atmos.
You got to be in Citi, right? Like if you want to accrue those points, Atmos or Citi. I think that like AA cards, I think are going to be good once they get everything under the house, once they get everything figured out and relaunch the cards. I think they actually could be pretty good. I think, again, as Matt said, if you have one custom cash, it's 30,000 points a year if you hit it perfectly.
Yeah.
I think people oversell how great the custom cash is because they're willing, or they can imagine a world where they have one for every single category and they're raking in 300,000 points a year. But again, that's a ton of spend a month that most people don't have perfectly in those categories, right? Like the theoretical maximum with the custom cash is fantastic. The actual practical life of it for most people with most lives is not. So I don't think it's I think if you're into AA, you still need Citi.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily think that it's a nerf or anything like that. It's just they're discontinuing one card. I do think, though, that if your prioritization first and foremost is AA, you still got to stick with Citi. Maybe Uber and Capital One could make the Uber co-branded. Well, right now, Uber is very upset with Discover existing. They've discontinued accepting Discover at the moment. That's just a power move to get a better rate on the interchange from Capital One. And yeah, tag your it. I could definitely see this happening with the banks positioning themselves for relationship banking, and it's going to be various forms of that relationship taking place, right? Like if you don't have a Chase checking account of some sort, you can't cash out your Chase points for a penny per point. So there's already that. Like Wells Fargo could do something similar. Bank of America has their whole relationship banking and getting extra rewards for being in the bank. Chase wants to keep you in-house by offering you 8 times points in the travel portal for all travel in the travel portal. with the Sapphire Reserve. American Express is now adding 5x hotels through the Amex travel portal on virtually all of their cards, and the not too distant future, it feels. Now, I'm not saying that is in fact a fact, but like you can do it on the platinum, you can do it on the gold.
We're getting there.
You're gonna be able to do it on the green in the not too distant future. So I do think that you're going to see some of this add up. Also, we saw points with Philip earlier. He shouted out the thumbnail, and check out Philip's channel.
Yes.
And thank you for stopping in, Philip.
There we go.
Yep. Never thought the custom cash was worth the new account or 524 hit to your credit report. I understand the product change to the custom cash. Yeah, and it had a fairly okay welcome offer of $200 back on, I want to say it was $1,000 in spend. So it was a 20% return, 20,000 thank you points. Depending on how you could utilize those thank you points, it was pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
Can you get a Maserati for 70K? Okay, hold on.
Congratulations.
Let me rephrase the question. Can you get a decent Maserati for 70K? Because like the only one I can think of that would be that low for a Maserati would be the Quattroporte, but Quattroporte literally translates to 4 doors.
I don't know anything about cars. I could see something where, on the platinum, you can get 2x on everything on the platinum, but you have to spend $75,000 a year to hit that 2x. Or you have to spend, $1,000 a month or, something, right? Like I can see a world where that happens. I do think they're going to be more cautious of that because that actually could be a harder sell to people, especially as the economy tightens. Because people are going to try to spend less money, even if they do or not, they're going to try to spend less. And that can sometimes be a thing. No, they don't. This is why my bank and my credit cards are at different institutions.
Yeah. Because that can always suck if they shut you down. Doesn't Chase have something going? They do have something where you can experience test driving a Maserati or driving a Maserati of some car of some sort. I don't know. They did it on their behalf. Yeah. So as long as they don't give you the loan, if they tell you that you're pre-approved and all you have to do is click the button and move on into the app and you're good to go from there. But if they just hey, we opened this $70,000 loan for you, then Chase would be in Wells Fargo territory. It wouldn't be great. Will Maserati allow me to split my $100K into $500 increments across my custom caches? Maybe.
Huh.
Dang, so the Citi custom cash died end of business. Yeah. It was
also, this wouldn't help because I don't think there's a code for automotive purchases.
No, you can't get automotive purchases on the custom cash for sure. But yeah, no, it was pulled at 4:00 Eastern. It was interesting to see when it went live that it did.
I have a question for the chat. We have about 80 people in here with us right now at this memorial service. How many of you actually have a custom cache? And so 2 questions. How many of you have a custom cache? How many custom caches do you have? So 2 questions. I remember that joke.
Here's the thing, Keith. I think the interns are just running the show right now. The interns don't get to work on Sunday. The interns are the ones keeping the cogs running through the rest of the week.
Yes. SJP, none and none. No custom cache. 1, a reasonable one. I have 1. I wanted 3. None.
I could see Citi or Chase being you get 1 point per dollar in your brokerage, but it's basically in the form of an additional 1x multiplier on your cards. Here's what I would say. I have 1, wife has 1. That's fine. Dugras now checking in with 3. Also, hey Dugras, check out Dugras' channel, especially on Saturday morning for his live. I could never justify the slot and didn't product change. That's fair. Want to go into Citi with my ecosystem as my hub is American now? Yeah, no, that certainly makes sense. You should still be able to product change. Thanks, Jimmy. Don't kill my Maserati dreams. That's fair. So where was I going with this? Oh, what if
Okay.
the banks
Raccoon hands
give you your regular earnings, but also give you like 4% Chase cash on top of everything? Or
Matt, don't give them ideas.
American Express traveler checkpoints, and you could turn those traveler checkpoints into whatever you want using company script.
Did you just reinvent like?
Yes, I reinvented
corporate
bill cash for every other freaking thing. Yes,
I was gonna say a company town, because we're like 5 minutes away from just like reinventing miners towns.
What do you think the data centers are for?
This is true. Yeah, they have no idea.
Yeah, no.
As somebody who was a customer service agent many moons ago, no idea.
Yeah. So no, like the whole concept of the company town, as soon as they can like get it back and functioning properly, they will.
Yes.
So like Chase Cash, Chase Script, Amex traveler checkpoints, like you could just do it on top. It's all funny money at that point. Like do whatever you want. It only costs money until you have to like do a thing with it.
Yeah, I hope that others don't follow with two separate point systems, one of which is called cash and it's really not. I hope we don't. I hope we don't have that. Thank you, Degrass. Yes, hit like. Hoppity hops too. So like all of you are reasonable people. I haven't seen 9 yet. I will say right now, Matt, if you would ever so kindly let me rephrase this, stand up. I wanna make it clear what I'm asking you to do. We have a custom cash shirt. If you go to stackerpoints.com, you can link to our store. I live my life $500 at a time. Matt, if you would so kindly turn so they can see the back of the shirt. Help me. If you want this shirt, you have until June 30th. Ooh. July 1st, the shirt is going down. So if you want Stack Your Points merch for the custom cash, you have until June 30th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. At that moment, it's gone.
Okay.
So you have a little over a month to decide if you want to memorialize this custom cash with a shirt. Because it doesn't make sense after that point for us to have a reference to something that is dead, that is also not like a Mac. Like ATP can get away with it for like the Mac Pro, that I'm sure they will have a shirt for John, but like we can't have a custom cash shirt forever. So yeah, so 1 month.
Yep. No, I never thought it'd be a clothing model. Thank you. Not with this frame.
Physique.
Sam, I have not yet. I have the ShopRite app on my phone. I keep meaning to do some grocery shopping through ShopRite. Here's the problem. I don't want to go to the store and pick up my order. You can't use it for in-store shopping, and their delivery fee is $15.
Ooh.
So it's like
$15. That's a lot.
Plus the price of the groceries. Now it's all in-store pricing. So like you can shop your sales, you can do all of that. Now I should just buck up and just go to the store and do curbside or whatever for 11.5x points per dollar. I probably will. I'm just annoyed that like I can't walk the aisles and hit pays and then leave.
Yeah, that would be nice. Also, like a lot of times when I'm grocery shopping, I need to like see the things. I can't just like shop off a website. I have to like make some game time decisions. So
I Here's my thing with that, and this is a thing where like people have mentioned not wanting to do DoorDash for certain reasons, or not wanting to do Instacart for certain reasons, and those being pretty valid in like they want to pick out their meat and they want to pick out their produce. I understand for like meat and produce, but for everything else, what do you really have to price point? Like you have your name brand, or you have the store's in-house brand. And like,
so sometimes it's just like, what do I actually want? What do I want for dinner? Like, what do I want? I need to know.
I should just start going to Autism Chow and meal prepping that way.
I'm also like, I'm weird when it comes to shopping.
This is fair.
Like I admit it. Also, I just put a link in the chat, 10% off the custom cash shirt. So if you want the custom cash shirt, follow that link, 10% off.
RJ, can you put that in the Discord?
I will put that in the Discord. I have that power.
I appreciate it. Okay, so Sam says he's a GNC shopper, so I'll try that with Pays. Protein and everything has made protein powder expensive. Also, stop putting protein in everything. That's fair. Should be putting more fiber in things. So GNC, if you stack it with Chase, you can go even further. And Rove also has a GNC multiplier. So just make sure you're stacking. Oh, or Rakuten with built-in membership rewards. And yes, I said the secret four-letter word. I moderate their Facebook, one of their Facebook groups. I write for their newsletter. I do stuff with Rose. It's chill. They love me. They haven't talked to me in a couple of days. Well, Carissa hasn't talked to me in a couple of days, but like, they still love me.
I'm sure she's fine. She's petting Scottish cows.
Yeah, shop right, shop at home for curbside pickup. I'm sure it's fine. I just don't like leaving the house if I don't have to.
Yeah, I order a lot from Walmart Plus because I work from home 5 days a week, right? So for me, and where I live, I do not like things are not open at 10 or 11 o'clock at night when I am done with work. I have decompressed and I'm ready to go out. I live in the sticks. So for me, like the ability to just be like, oh, I want this delivery at 6 o'clock so I can, make whatever, is incredibly helpful. So, but I'm not getting ground beef, right? Like I'm not gonna get like my chicken or whatever. That'll go to, Hannaford because I live in the Northeast and that's what we have.
For my next round at Stop and Shop, I will not Stop and Shop. ShopRite. I will probably pay through Pays because 11.5 points per dollar is pretty dang compelling.
You know what I miss from living in actual proper New England, Matt? I miss Shaw's.
Oh, Shaw's.
Shaw's. Because I was in Rhode Island.
Oh.
Like I miss a proper Shaw's. I miss a proper Shaw's. I miss listening to WEEI. I can still, though I have to listen to it over the internet. I miss just getting into my car and turning on WEEI. But yeah, shirts. What are you surprised that this happened now, Matt? Do you think that like there was a specific reason, or do you think it was because of the AA?
I personally think like my little tinfoil hat, not my crappy Mets hat here. My little tinfoil hat is AA is costing them way more money than they thought, or they put in way too much. Like they overcommitted to AA in terms of bringing in the back book from Barclays, because I still don't know what the number they paid for that is.
I don't know if we're gonna know for a while.
Yeah, and the card's only been around for 6 years. I don't know. I'm not going to say it was abuser. It was those who like had to have a platoon of custom caches, because I do think that there are people who had a platoon, not they had more than a squadron and less than a battalion. Yeah, so the question is, how much did they pay Barclays for the back book?
I also Didn't something just come out recently that like it costs issuers a lot more for points than we all thought it costs issuers for points?
Yeah.
And I'm sure like AA, Delta, and United, I am sure are much more expensive than even Hyatt, Hilton, IHG, or Marriott, right? Like airlines are going to be more expensive.
So they do have, there is a bulk pricing rate, but even then, like if you're able to buy points from Marriott at like 0.8 cents per point, it's still costing them on a bulk rate probably closer to 1.1 or 1.3 cents per point. Is much better marketing than the intro cards like the Citi Custom Cash were. They could be focusing on profitability. It could be that. They are moving their travel lineup of cards in their core setup to Strata, and Custom Cash is just like a weird name out there. Some more monopoly money, or I guess cash in this case. It's entirely possible. I think it's just the cost overruns, and it could be hurting profitability. Maybe they haven't been hitting signups that they were expecting to hit with something like the Strata or something like, because like on a 1-to-1, right? Let's take like YouTube out of it. Let's take the blogs out of it, right? You have the Citi Strata card and you have the Citi Custom Cash card, and you're trying to decide which of these two cards makes more sense for me to get. The Custom Cash says 5% up to $500. You don't think about the $500 that you're spending every month in this one particular category. So like it should stand to reason. Thanks, Kevin. It should stand to reason that it would be
that is both terrifying and very realistic.
Yes. That's a very horrifying thought. But Klarna is doing their whole like membership thing, and so transfer partners won't be far off. But I do think that like on net, it should be the 5% is what could compel you to come in, and like you spend past the $500 and it's just sort of your everything card. And I think that's what they were hoping for. But so now you're only going to be capped at 3, and now it's unlimited 3, but it's 3 nonetheless.
I have an interesting idea for a card that just sort of hit me, right?
Sure.
I don't know if they'd do the full 500, but say 300 is 5x. The first 300 you spend in a month is 5x on a particular category, and then it defaults to 2x everything. So you're sort of taking the double cash, you're taking the custom cash, and maybe it's 2x everything and then one 5x category or whatever, because they want you to use the card for literally everything in this situation. But
so there is a card that sort of did this.
Please tell me, Matt, because I don't know off the top of my head.
It was the X1 card.
Of course it was.
Yeah, the first $1,000 in spend per month was 3x. Everything after that would drop to 2.
Right. I'm thinking more like, between 3 and 500 or 250 and 500. I'm not thinking 1,000 and 3x. It also would be on like one category is the 5x, and then everything drops to 2x. So it would be like 2x catch-all plus one 5x category. That's limited to 250 to 500, and then but it's a 2x after that. So say this is your grocery card, right? You spend $550. Now you're not getting 1x on the 50. You're at least getting 2x, because I could see a lot of people just being like, well, we're just going to use this, right? We're just going to go with it. Also, GSA, thank you very much for those memberships. If you just got a membership, please head over to stackyourpoints.com, join our Discord from the link there. We have so many things going on in the Discord. There's polls, there's conversations, There's a bunch of stuff. So please head over, join. There is a tab in there, membership roles, where you can select SYP Insider, what your membership will be, and it'll add that to you, all of the appropriate things. So thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Richie. Yeah, those buy now, pay later.
No, I have a feeling they're gonna go banana. This is gonna be the .com boom, but for predatory lending.
It hasn't been great for them, but if they're able to, if like Klarna's membership push actually does something, maybe. Seems logical to me that if Citi wanted to launch a couponing new card or Strata Premier refresh and wanted customers on it, they wouldn't want the custom cash sticking around as a more attractive player option. Yeah, that is definitely a consideration for sure. I don't know that they're going to do a couponing new card, but they were testing a Strata Premier refresh for sure. So we'll see. Calderds, thank you. Rest in peace. The custom cash will live on in the wallets of all current cardholders. Yes, it will. Until Citi does something else. Yeah. Will.
How long do you think, if you were a betting man, how long is this card living?
6. No, I'm gonna give it 12 to 18 months, probably. But
Okay.
it's anywhere from the Reward Plus. But the difference with the Reward Plus was that the Reward Plus sort of had an end of life announcement, like the announcement of its discontinuation and the new card and the forced conversion to the new card was all at once and like followed the timeline it has to follow. So this could go, 12 to 18 months, or they just let it sit like the dividend card. The dividend card was discontinued forever ago. The Prestige was discontinued just as long ago, and both of those cards are still kicking.
I want to touch on this for just a second. It's not that people have multiple of the same card. I know people with 2 Venture X's, right? Like, it's not having multiple.
Yeah.
It is the push to have 7 or 9 or 12 or whatever. It is that push.
Oh yeah, no. Plenty of people have like 3, 4, 6 platinums. Like that's.
Keith has a small army of tiny centurions that follow him around.
Yes.
The centurion, as in the little guy on the platinum, not the centurion card.
Yeah. You can have how many business platinums at the same time?
This is an interesting question, Matt. I want your take on it, because it is both a very good question and a very obvious one in some respects. I do not think it's a bad question. I think this is a good question.
No, they're both loan vehicles. So a credit card is just a loan that you pay back in full every month. That happens to have certain other goodies attached to it. Be those fraud protection, which is a big one right now. The biggest difference between buy now, pay later and a credit card, buy now, pay later is per item. Whereas a credit card, you can use your entire credit limit for that. That is the singular difference between the two. Now, they are similar concepts where you buy a thing on loan from the bank and you will pay it back over time. And buy now, pay later, you can set up a strict, bi-weekly for 4 payments, pay it off over 8 weeks, or bi-weekly or bi-monthly if you have to, or a monthly payment, depending on the price of the object. We'll see you in a bit, Duncan. So like it has a set structure. It is one item at a time. So you can buy exercise equipment on buy now, pay later. You can buy you can do that, but do that on a credit card. The credit card has a limit. Buy now, pay later is per merchant, and the limit is just the price that you're paying for the item. So they're similar constructs. They both have some interest attached to them in some form or another. Now, if you pay your credit card off in full by your statement date, you are not assessed interest. If you pay, if you qualify for buy now, pay later with no interest, as long as you
consistently make the payment agreed to as part of the your purchase agreement, you will not be charged interest there. They can both charge interest. Those interest rates can be pretty bad, but typically buy now, pay later is just one item or one purchase at a time.
It also historically has had more fees attached to it. And I'm talking good credit cards. Like there's not a whole lot of difference between Credit One and buy now, pay later, right? Like they're both bad. Buy now, pay later tends to become more predatory. It tends to have more hidden fees. Like some buy now, pay later literally has an early payoff. If you don't pay the full interest on it, they'll just charge it to you at the end. And sometimes they'll charge more than what you would have paid if you paid each thing because they don't want you to. It tends to be more effective at trapping people in debt. Because think about it. If I have a credit card and I have a $10,000 limit on a single credit card, right? We're going to pretend for a minute I only have the one.
Yep.
I can track that pretty easily,
Yep.
right? Like I can log into the app, see what my balance is, see what my payment is. Like even Wells Fargo's app, you can see this, Citi's, Chase, everybody's app will tell you what your balance is, right? They're not going to be Apple where they're like telling you if you pay this, you're going to have this, like not all of them, but they'll tell you your balance. If I have the same amount of money out, but it's in 3 or 4 buy now, pay laters, I have to track that. I have to figure out where each of those are. And yeah, is that ultimately on me? Yes, but it's just so much easier to get into bad financial straits that way versus with credit card. And again, credit cards can be terrible for people, but it tends to be better. Pay over time is somewhere in between, right? Like it is somewhere in between.
Yeah, they just assess a one-time fee with pay over time. It's 0%, but you do pay them the fee to put that into effect. But it can be pretty useful and it's 0% interest. So like if you get that paid off early, it's fine. Do I think they product change it or just continue to make it worse until it's useless? I don't think they're going to make it worse until it's useless. I do think that if there is a new product that they want you to be on, they will just product change you to that, announce that you will be product changed to that product. Yeah. Otherwise, I think they're just going to let it live and forget about it in zombie form.
Yes.
I think there's just one of two options there. And zombie is probably what's going to happen. I think there's going to be a zombie for the next 12 to 18 months. I don't think that they're going to come out with a new card that they want to push everybody to because they would have announced that card. Or if they were going to move it into the Strata side of things, they wouldn't have let Strata Select die.
Yeah.
I want a new credit card because it's been about a year, but I really don't need one. Hey, Ragrex, just apply for the JetBlue Premier. That's what I did.
You did, and you got it.
I did.
And then immediately JetBlue was like, hey, you want a state? Or Barclays was like, hey, you want a statement? I was not expecting that personally.
Yeah, I didn't like that getting that in the first week. That was annoying. And yeah, it definitely was a gap filler for sure. If there was a category that you were spending a moderate amount of money in every month, that makes sense. Tagger it, you got no fee on that. Perfect.
There you go.
So yeah, it was a good gap filler for sure. I just think that there's other, like, I'm not in the Citi ecosystem. It has not been a card that really intrigued me to get into the Citi ecosystem. My partner's in the Citi ecosystem. That's fine. They have double cash. They're cashing their points out in ways that would make the community go crazy. But you know what? They're happy. I don't care.
And sometimes you just got to let people live their lives.
Yes. They play the game on my when I need them to play the game with me, and I give them cards to do that, like on my account. And then I look at how much money they spend, and I go, "Oh my god, you really need to
it happens.
Not spend so much money there."
And yet, do you think we're going to see any other cards join the Raccoons Memorial Service this year?
I do think we're in for refreshes.
So I think the Strata Premier refresh, there will be a Strata Premier refresh. I'm going to assume that will come in Q3 or Q4. I could see them. I can't see Citi getting rid of any more cards because the Rewards Plus was a card that was just sort of like there. Oh, they give you one interest-free one. The next one has fees. Okay. Sorry.
They give you a little taste.
First taste is free.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of the Rewards Plus. The Strata came out last year. There's no way they're changing that anytime soon. Smartly is more or less dead. I don't think you're going to see. I don't know what the hell US Bank is doing exactly. So
I don't know if US Bank knows what US Bank is doing.
There's that. Then there's Chase. I don't think Chase is going to be getting rid of any cards. There's a Sapphire Preferred refresh probably happening at some point. I don't know what a timeline on that looks like. Wells isn't going to be killing any cards. If anything, Wells has at least one new card coming. It's a co-brand, and I don't know. Highest record I've seen is 5 custom caches. Wondering if anyone else has more than that. I'm aware of people.
Yes.
Yeah. The Discover It Miles is probably not long for this world for sure. The Quicksilver is getting an update while moving to the Discover Network to get people to spend on the Discover Network. The Venture is moving to the Discover Network. So those cards have already been announced that they're moving to the network. Did they say the Venture, or was it just the Venture one? I think it's just the Venture one.
I think it's just the Venture one now.
Yeah. And refresh could Citi consolidate and refresh their AA card lineup? Yes.
Oh, they absolutely will.
Yeah. They've already sort of done that by getting rid of the Aviator Red, Aviator Silver, turning those into the Platinum and to the Globe card. But I do think that there is refreshes coming to those cards for sure. I'm pretty sure you know what US Bank is doing better than US Bank does. That's a scary thought. Because you know how much I think about US Bank?
Very little. I'm in the place right now where I don't dislike my Shoppers Cash or my Cash Plus, but I also just don't want to have to deal with like the US Bank app and how they handle like auto pay and like dealing with them, right? Like that's the thing we don't talk about a ton. Is like those are great cards. Those 2 cards specifically are great, right? Mm-hmm. Especially the first year on the Shoppers where you're not paying the annual fee. Like they're great cards. I don't know if I want to continue to deal with US Bank in those little friction points. And there are people who will, and I totally understand it. But I don't like I have other cards that can absorb most of what I use those for in different ways. So like I'll be fine. I'll go down to 17 cards. I'll be okay. But I don't know. I don't know if it's worth dealing with them, and that's not always a fun. Oh no, it's at least $100 a year. It's at least $195 really, because I have to like deal with the annual fee that's annoying me. I wish there was like a 5% option instead of the 6% with no annual fee. But yeah, I mean, there's the Cash Plus, but like I need it for Walmart and Amazon. You know what I mean? Like I want it for the things. And I could get an Amazon card, except no, I couldn't right now. So like, you know, there's that. So much. I'm debating if at the end of the summer I cancel, like if it's at the 6-month mark or the 7-month mark, if I cancel it instead of waiting the year. I think I'm going to wait the year just because I don't trust them not to do shenanigans if I cancel early. So I think I'll probably do the year, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I move like if I still had the points inbuilt, then I probably wouldn't care because if they pulled them back, oh well. But I've already moved the points to Hyatt. So if they try to like pull those back or if my count is negative or whatever, I don't want to deal with it. No, I just don't want it's less of a hassle to just wait the year than for me to be annoyed and waiting for something to happen. So it's in my card case that I have all of the cards that don't leave the house. It's actually next to the Rakuten card because, again, that card has no reason to ever like physically be presented anywhere. But yeah, no, the JetBlue card will probably also be gone after a year. I really think it's not that I want to pare down next year, but I think I want to focus a little more. Which is on me.
Only so many Amex cards you can hold at one time.
Yes. But the Amtrak card was a good pickup. Matt, you're a New Yorker, a little farther downstate than I am. Have you ever been to the Metropolitan Lounge in Amtrak? Like the one in Penn Station or Monahan train station?
It has been I don't think I've been to Monahan. It has been a while since I took Amtrak. And usually if I start on Amtrak, I am starting at Croton. Probably. I'm more likely starting at Croton.
If you ever have the opportunity to use the lounge at Monahan, oh my. Like, there are people making you sandwiches. Like, there are people, like, it was lovely. It was one of probably the 3 nicest lounges I have ever been in, including airport lounges.
Interesting.
It was huge. I mean, it's a very good portion of part of the second floor, right? Like so it physically can be larger because there's not an airport around it. It was lovely. Like if I'm there more than an hour, like if I'm going down to DC, right? Because usually I'm just going to New York City, which means I don't have to wait, right? You get there and then you go and do whatever. And when you're coming back, because there's no like TSA or whatever, you can get there 20 minutes before your train leaves. So like for that, I wouldn't. But if I'm going to like from where I am to DC, you have to go through New York City for where I am to do that. So like if I have like a 2-3 hour layover, I will find a way into that lounge because it was truly lovely. Like it really was.
Now, does the credit card just get you lounge access, or does the credit card give you like unlimited access into that lounge?
No.
Or is it just okay?
So you can buy a lounge pass for $50 or 1,500 points. You get 1 lounge pass for holding the card.
Got it.
So they give you a little taste, so you can be like, "Oh no, I am never going back."
First taste is free.
Yeah. I mean, I went to B&H and then I wanted to play with a bunch of camera gear, so I wanted a place that was not like the general terminal to like unpack camera gear. I bought the camera I'm talking to all of you on right now there. So I wanted to like take it out, and I had one of my lenses with me. I'm actually using a Sigma lens right now. And it was great. Like it genuinely was fantastic. You do get more lounge access when you go up in status. Like I think select gets you more access. I really need to dig into it because in 27, if I do the math out, if in 27 status is attainable with Amtrak, it may be worth it for me. I'm also thinking about doing the rail pass occasionally for like the summer because it's 45 days and you get like 10 trips, 10 segments. So that's kind of cool. No, Amazon is delivering it tomorrow. So I'll have it for Monday. So I won't have any anxiety about my battery life. I have no idea what the battery life is right now because I can't see that while I record. So we'll find out. If my video suddenly drops, I'll switch to my phone camera.
Yep.
Or put another battery in.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see what Citi's next move is. It's interesting to see that they're not doing this in coordination. Like you're not getting one card being retired and a new card being launched, or you're not getting this in concert with a Strata Premier refresh or something like that. So we'll just have to see what the end result ends up being. For now, they've said that the card is no longer available for applications. We will have to see, what the product change ends up being. People are able to product change right now. So if you want yourself a sweet custom cash, you can still move between your Citi core cards to do that. You're not able to product change your American Airlines cards to the Citi to the custom cash like you used to be able to. So we'll see at the end of the day. And it's not like there's a whole lot of cards laying out there that they have just waiting in the wings to step in. There's the new trademark that I mentioned. They let Strata Select die. It's not like they've got like 9 floating trademarks out there that may or may not lead to new credit cards. Oh, and Capital One last year had like nine floating trademarks, and Amex had a few floating trademarks. Nothing ever happened with those. I have to go back in and look to see if the Amex trademarks are still alive. But like, yeah, we just have to kind of sit and wait it out with Citi. But if the good news is they're not force changing you into new products right now, into a different card right now.
I have 71% battery. We're good.
Yeah.
So it sips power a little more daintily than I was expecting. 30% over an hour is not bad.
Yeah.
No, I largely agree. I do think that it's never a good sign when a card that is so enthusiastically loved by people goes away.
Mhm.
Like, regardless of what you and I have historically picked on the custom cash for a number of reasons. A lot valid in terms of why. I do think, though, like when those cards start going away, when they start making less and less sense for the banks, that's not a great thing, right?
Yep.
Because that's sort of saying, hey, your favorite could very well be next. And that's, again, not great for the community.
Yeah. Now, if you want a card that you can move away, like move to, and potentially go into a new issuer, and it's a credit union. If you check out Langley Federal Credit Union's Visa Signature Rewards card, gives you that 5% cash back on a category of your choice. They do give you the list of categories. You can get 3% cash back on groceries and wholesale, 2% back on something else, and 1% back on all other spend. Groceries and wholesale can be that 5% category. Now, I don't think it stacks to become 7%, but like after that $1,000 in spend per month, you can drop it down to 3%.
Is it geo-locked? Because I feel like they're going to need to geo-lock it.
Currently, it's not, to my knowledge. Like they do have the membership requirements, but it seems relatively easy to open a Langley account right now. I'm not saying that it's not gonna go the way of the Redstone, but yeah, well, yeah.
I have no answer because I do not face this problem. They give me the entire can of ginger ale when I ask for it. I mean, I think some of it is just them being cheap. I'm sure some of it is like the amount they get back. Like if you're getting, a third of a can every time you clear trash, eventually you're going to stop giving people a full can, but probably just being stingy.
Just give us the tiny cans. The tiny cans exist for a reason.
Yeah.
The tiny can is annoying, but yeah, I'd stick with the 3x version of the custom cash over the Strata because of flexibility for 1-to-1 cash back if I wanted it. Yep. No, that makes sense. You can still get that 3% with the Strata. You just have to have a double cash attached to your account. But that is, extra friction, and I totally get it. So makes sense. But I think we're good on the custom cash at this point. We're an hour and 15 in. So other things to mention, I did bring up that Langley card. I wanted to bring that up. We've got Spirit is auctioning off their LaGuardia slots. And I think they're expecting to make $87 million off of this.
Which terminal are they? Are they in the same one as Delta?
No, they're in the A terminal.
So Delta is going to be like, y'all have fun fighting over that. We're going to stay right here.
Yep. It's 6 gates, so we'll see. It is 12 slots. It would be enough for 22 flights. Yeah.
I agree with the needing Coke Zero.
I've had a C4, a Pepsi Zero, and I'm on a root beer, a zero sugar root beer right now.
My next one is a Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. After we're wrapping, I'm completely tearing my personal desk apart because the experiment with the camera worked. So I will be using the camera going forward, which means that I need to reconfigure my desk.
Ooh. Diamond, I have no idea.
I don't think they're going to kill the double cache. They might get rid of one-to-one because they can always just change that.
They can always just change that for sure. I don't think that you're going to see them kill the double cache anytime soon. I do think that they could just go one-to-one is statement credit only, and if you want cash and if you want to cash out, it's going to be 2-to-1 or 1-to-2, whatever. 2-to-1. 2 points equals a penny.
Yeah.
Can't wrap until the flight is over. No, I'm not saying we're wrapping necessarily.
No, we're just moving on. We're just moving on from the custom cache.
We're good with the custom cache.
We have custom our cache.
I've come to bury this custom cache, and I have said all I can say without going super negative. I'm kidding.
So, you know what card I keep getting ads for? I do not want this card. I am not getting this card. But I keep getting graphite ads.
Oh, anytime I open the Reddit app, the graphite is the first thing that pops up.
Yes, because I went to the credit card subreddit, and there's literally 3 ads for that card. Like, why?
Because they're not hitting their sign-up numbers because they released a ridiculous card. Thank you, Double.
We are very entertaining.
Yep. No product change to custom cache exists after today if you currently have a different Citi card. Frequent miler, if folks are commenting on frequent miler that product changes are still a thing, you may want to just go through the chatbot. If the chatbot doesn't work, try calling. But calling is going to depend on the knowledge of the customer service representative that you are speaking to, and they are not always keyed in on what is happening. So chatbot's probably your best bet.
Yes. I have a question for you, Matt, that has nothing... Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a question that has nothing to do with anything that we have talked about. Wanted a Coke Zero, got half a cup of water. You will like that. Yes. It is not, but they just spray it all over social media. I took Amtrak down to the city last weekend, for holiday weekend. I was in coach for the way down because I wanted to try it just to see if it was worth the business class versus coach class. So I did coach down. It was fine. There is not a way for a lot of legs of Amtrak for you to select a seat. So if you're a couple traveling or 2 people traveling, you are not always guaranteed to sit together, especially the closer you get to the city. I was nice enough that I gave my seat up to somebody's because I had an empty seat next to me so they could sit together. They didn't ask, to be fair. They were very nice. I moved so one could get in, and then I was like, oh, there's an empty seat right there. Would you 2 like to sit together? And they were like, yes, please. And then I moved and it was fine. Are you somebody who makes that offer? Are you somebody who asks if you're on the other side of it? I get if you have if it's a situation like that it's open seating. I get asking, right? Like I understand people who ask that. If it's I'm in first class, you booked your child first class and you want me to go to coach because you were trying to get a free seat, absolutely not. Open seating I do think is a little bit different, but what is your take on this?
Open seating is definitely different for sure. When I head down to the city, I'm not usually on Amtrak. I am almost always on Metro North. and Metro North open seating. I try to sit by myself as best I can. So I try to avoid, too many people, but like if there's no empty setup and there's an empty seat next to another solo traveler, I will ask, hey, do you mind if I sit? Can do you mind if I take that space? So an open setup is different than, assigned seating. I haven't tried, again, it's been years since I went on Amtrak, so I can't necessarily speak to Amtrak specifically.
I'm talking about just travel in general. So
yeah.
So Southwest has open seating, Amtrak, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Basically anything in travel. It doesn't have to be Amtrak. Can be the train, can be flights, can be whatever.
Yeah, if you're in the same if I wanted your seat, I would have booked it. Yeah. Yeah, open seating, I will ask if I have to. I will try to set myself up to not have to ask, but it's going to depend on how crowded the train is that day or how crowded the subway is that day.
Have you been in a situation with your kid where you've it's open seating and you kind of have to be like, hey, is there a way you'll take that one seat so Chidi and I can sit together? You ever been in that situation?
I haven't yet, because when my kid has been on the train, they have been on with the other parent, so I haven't had that be an issue. They also start their journey from the beginning of the line, so like train's empty when they get on, so it's a completely different situation there. But if I was on the New York City subway and wanted to sit with her, I'm sure I would ask if there's 2 seats available somewhere to be able to sit, or like I would try to claim 2 seats.
At least with the subway, you can stand.
Yes.
So, like, in theory, you could stand next to her if there was 1 seat, which makes it a little bit easier. On Amtrak, you can't just really stand.
No. Amtrak doesn't have those middle doors that some Metro North trains have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes an issue.
I was on a plane recently, and somebody did pull the, oh, my husband is here. Do you mind swapping? And the person was going to do it until they realized that the wife booked Comfort Plus in the first row of Comfort Plus right next to first class. And she pointed to the seat, and the person immediately was like, absolutely not.
Would you give up an aisle or window seat for a middle for someone who wants to sit with their family member? Bro, you got to be better at booking, honestly.
I don't have to deal with middle seats because I'm in first class and there's only 2 in each. I will say, would I give up in this situation? Would I give up a window or aisle for a middle? If it's an adult, if it's a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, friends, whatever, no. I'm sorry, you're an adult. If you can't sit alone for 6 hours or whatever, then you need to reassess some things. If it is a situation where I have to sit next to somebody else's child, I might consider it depending on the kid, because I'm going to say something to that kid that's going to piss the parents off if that kid's being a little shit. And I don't want to have to deal with that. Because if I tell the kid to knock it the fuck off, if they're like kicking the seat in front of them or like touching me or whatever, there's probably going to be a bigger problem. So in that case, I might do it just to get away from the child.
Yeah. Also, we live in an era where, like, if you are a pair of adults, it's probably a master getting people to give up their seats. If he does a TED Talk on getting people to give up their seats, I'd probably go watch that TED Talk or that TEDx talk for sure. Anyway,
here's the thing. I like to be comfortable. I'm not going to be comfortable in not first class, and because I've flown it, and I'm not going to be comfortable there. But I also really don't want to be around somebody. Like, am I going to change first class to main cabin? Absolutely fucking not. But I'm also like, if your kid's being a shit, I'm going to call the stewardess and have the stewardess deal with it, because I will tell your kid to shut the fuck up, and then there's going to be a problem.
Fair.
I would absolutely though, like if say the parent booked an aisle and an aisle and I had a window, I would change to the other aisle so they could sit next to each other. I would be fine with that. I'm sort of agnostic between aisle and window.
It's fair. Like the taped my fare card to pay them.
Oh no.
Ooh. Yikes.
Yeah, no, I am a fan of, I prefer the aisle, but I don't mind the window.
Yep.
RJ, would you take non-first class to fly with a family member if they ask? The only person I would do that for is my grandmother. My mother has become very much a fan of first class. She literally sent me a meme that says I don't leave my house if it's not first class. So she's not going to ask me. But if for some reason I had to fly with my grandmother and I was not able to book first class, she is the only person that I would not bump myself to first class. And that's because she's like 87 and I would need to help her. So, you know,
Yeah.
I do have some bit of a soul, but everybody else, no. Like my mom, my stepdad, my step siblings, they are all adults. They can very much take care of themselves. I feel bad when somebody asks me. Absolutely not.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's a 10-hour flight. My grandmother does deserve first class. My grandmother's actually upgraded to first class out of Atlanta the last time she flew. Because there was an opening, and instead of giving it to somebody on the upgrade list, they looked at the 87-year-old who needs like support and a walker and was like, "Hey, we're gonna put you in the very first row so you can be easy on and off the plane." So she got an upgrade to first class.
There you go.
She was definite. She doesn't have status. She only has a Delta account because I set her up with a Delta account, because that's how she usually flies. So yeah, no, she has zero status. Though I was told on my last trip with my parents that if I make platinum next year, I have to give them both silver. I'm required by family law to give both of them silver.
Yeah, and gate agent will usually figure it out. The flight attendants can figure it out as well. But here's the thing: they really need to stop calling domestic first class first class. It's a sad state of affairs. That's fair. It is.
It's what I thought. Like, I also could care less. I could care less about flying international first class. Like that doesn't, like, I don't care about it. So for me, domestic first class is what I'm going to deal with. So that is first class to me.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, my family is learning the ways of points and miles. Like when it comes to my partner, my kid and I, like I'm just the one who does the booking. When it
is so much less stressful when they're just like, here's what we want to do. Here's when we want to do it. You figure it out and we'll follow you. It is so much less stressful when they do that.
Yeah. Yep. Some of the content are getting more first class late. Yeah. Transcon is different than some other portions of domestic. But anyway. Oh, and yeah, if you're paying for the seat upgrade, like if you're paying for the seat selection and it's not part of like being part of the program or like having the credit card, damn straight don't move your seat. Like they should spend a couple more kroner. And I tried to find a non-offensive currency to use. Just got my custom cash yesterday after making my second purchase, was declined and had to call the fraud department to open up the card again. At least I didn't get the dreaded letter in the mail. Oh,
did you do it as a mobile wallet purchase?
That would be hilarious. The fact that those still get pinged is just funny. Yes, the custom cash is dead. And I believe the 5% hero is on the thumbnail. Yeah,
it is. Great. Yes, I was very pleased. I had to go through a couple of rounds to get this one to work, and I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I'm done with Gemini. I'm done with GPT, I am only making thumbnails in Ask Studio now.
I mean, you are technically using
I know
using
I'm
Gemini.
using Gemini, but I don't
Like,
have a watermark. I don't have to do anything crazy. I don't have to like ask Claude to prompt it properly to give me the right things. Yeah,
RJ was supposed to fly Delta One when she went to Hawaii. RJ did not fly Delta One because RJ did not go to Hawaii due to an unfortunate series of events.
Yep. Or the German man on Lufthansa into European business class, and he was not pleased. Well, that's his problem. He should shell out a few more euro and pick the freaking window seat that he wants.
About 14 million artists that were unpaid for their work, aka Gemini, and my brain telling it what to do. I went through about 5 rounds for it, but I am not an artist, and we did not do well when I was just putting words as the title. So this is what y'all want. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. And yeah, we should be, maybe for the podcast, we should be paying somebody through Fiverr, but like,
I am not paying X, like we don't make enough to do that. We just don't.
Only $800 limit. Until it's mailed to me. Well, hopefully they got it cleared up, but that is Citi for you. That is the encapsulation of Citi.
Also, Matt, and double, in theory, yes, in practice, not right now. Here's the problem with paying somebody to make art for us. And this is totally an us thing. We figure out what we're going to talk about 20 minutes before I make the link for the thing. I am not enough of a jackass to go to somebody and be like, you have 20 minutes to make this thumbnail. Chop, chop. I make the art for the show, the actual podcast, after I've edited the podcast, because that's when I come up with the title for it. Like, the problem is our workflow is not possible unless I or you, if you're editing that week, create the art. We don't have time, unfortunately. Like, if I was artistic in that way, it'd be great, right? You and I have many talents. That is not one of them.
Yep. A6 on an A330 Neo to Amsterdam. Nice.
That is very nice.
Jet fuel. That is a big one. Yeah, and my workflow for my channel is frenetic as all hell. There's no way I could conceivably keep a thumbnail person on tap, because it's like, hey, I just shot this and I'm editing it and I need it up in like 15 minutes and go.
You need to come up with like a structure and like a posting schedule and like a thing, and yet one day you will. It's just gonna. It's one day you will have a posting schedule. You know what also would be nice? SD cards, because the price I paid for my last round of SD cards made me physically ill for a minute.
Yeah.
Because now I got the good camera, guys. I love my good camera. I have to get the good cards. This is the problem with the good camera. The ones I bought from Walmart literally 3 weeks ago, I cannot use. They went to a good home.
That's fair. Let's see. Other things.
Prime Day. If there are SD cards like on discount for Prime Day, it's going to be my paycheck. It's going to just be like, take all of my, because I want to buy them and not have to worry about it for like the next year or two. But I need them to come down before I do that.
Yep. So they're still doing transfer bonuses. They have one going on right now. Diamond, I hope you're wrong, but it's going to take the bubble bursting with AI, and I can't.
I don't need it to come down. I just need a really good Prime Day deal. That would also be nice.
Yeah. Someone tried to take my exit row seat on the way to Amsterdam. I told her to get out. She got mad, and then the flight attendant came. Well, if it wasn't her seat.
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah. I'm slightly bummed I missed on the multiple custom cash train. I was actually gardening, waiting to get my first custom cash card. Instead, I had to product change my double cash yesterday. So I'll just settle with the one. You could apply for another double cash in the future and convert that, or a Strata Premier, or potentially a Strata card. Like there's potentially ways to keep getting them to build up a squad.
I do wonder though if yes, you can product change, but if they see you have multiple at this point, they might. I don't know, right? But that might also happen.
It hasn't stopped them before.
I know, but they also just killed the card.
Yeah, but now they're going to enforce the rules. Come on now.
You know, this is where we were.
Yeah.
I also went to Best Buy on Saturday, and there were literally no good SD cards. Like they were all like the V30s. Like it was sad.
So with the custom cash being discontinued, what is the new #1 card for gas?
AAA is
AAA is still 5% on, I think, $10,000 in spend. So that one's still pretty good. That's the travel rewards, not the everyday advantage. The travel advantage card is the 5% gas.
Yeah.
The Kroger cards are discontinued for the moment, so it's not going to be those. The PayPal system got nuked, so it's not that. With the new PNC version of preferred rewards that they have, USA cashback, okay. Costco card for gas is, I think, 4 or 5% now for gas, so that can definitely work. Wyndham Business Earners is 8 times points if you can use Wyndham points. The Amex Business Gold is 4% if the annual fee doesn't bother you. Yep.
And that's one of your top categories. That's the thing is with that card, it's got to be one of your top.
Yeah, but if you only buy gas with it, you're fine. If you like Hilton
Gas
points, the Hilton Surpass is fine.
Mm-hmm.
For cash back and like best cash return of what is publicly available, as I said, the PNC has a gas category card that will get you a pretty decent return, especially if you're in their new system that will award you for having a large bank account with them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of too many others that are 5%. Langley is 5%. I can't think of any others offhand. If you use ExxonMobil, Citi has a co-branded card with them. I think it's only statement credits. Yeah, but you're also like saving however many cents per dollar on gas using that card, which is huge. I think you pay the cash rate when you use that card, which in some places is like 10 to 15 cents cheaper.
Also, you should just be a Costco member. Like I am a Costco member. I don't have a Costco like within 3 hours of me. I am a Costco member because you can order online.
Yeah. Business Gold for dining and gas can be a decent card, assuming you mostly just yeah. Well, Keith doesn't have to worry about it because skip the card and get an EV. Yeah, well, then you can get 4%.
The AA card is also 5% on EV charging.
Ooh,
that's an interesting thought. So the Freedom Flex, but make it Citi.
Maybe. So when I did my video last night highlighting that Empower was the trademark that I found with Strata Select being dead, I was kind of thinking, and I still think that this is the card to model, not the Freedom Flex. Screw the Freedom Flex. Do the US Bank Cash Plus model. And
the Cash Plus model would be great.
Altitude Go gives you 4% on gas. I think it's capped, but it's that was the old Citi dividend card. The difference with the dividend card was the dividend card let you spend all $6,000 allotted to you in the year all at once if you wanted to, which was cool. 5x gas, you can do a point accelerator. Oh, and point accelerator on the built Palladium makes a fair amount of sense as well. You gotta spend 200 built cash to use it, but like, and you only get 5 of them. But if you really want to, it's a 3x catch-all. Hey man, I'm willing to put in some research on weird shit.
So I'm looking at the Crate and Barrel card right now. 10% back on Crate and Barrel, Crate and Kids, CB2, Hudson Grace, 4% back on home retailers and grocery, 4% back on apparel retailers through 6/30 of 26. So that's a little, and then 1% everything else. So if you're Keith, you can have a brand new house every 6 months just purely on the things that you bought at Crate and Barrel.
Sure can. 4% back on eligible gas and EV. So the Costco card is 4% back on eligible gas and EV on 7,000 in combined spend. The Autograph is 3% on gas across the board. Why they would put the Freedom Unlimited, I don't know. Why they would put the Blue Cash Everyday, I don't know. Customized Cash Rewards, I think has gas as a category, and you can get up to 4.5.
Absolutely correct.
And then there's, what am I earning categories? Sorry. 6%. Okay. I don't see the list of categories. Okay, whatever. Yeah, best gas card cashback option is not great, but you can do pretty well with Hilton, Costco. Oh, 5% at Costco. Yeah. 5% at Costco gas, 4% on others. Yeah, there's got to be another one.
There's a decent amount of cashback cards for gas.
Oh, Sam's and BJ's both have credit cards that are pretty decent for buying gas at them as well. Because you get the member rate and you get the savings. PenFed Platinum Rewards. I don't remember how much that is.
But yeah, there's a ton of options for gas. Like,
yep. I'm primarily using my Autograph card for gas, but like, well, no, right now I'm using my JetBlue Premier because 100,000 points.
I am not using a card for gas because I do not drive a gas-powered vehicle.
Yep. Okay, so the PenFed Platinum Rewards is 5% of gas, and there's no cap.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you qualify for PenCap, if you qualify for PenFed, there we go. 5% on gas paid at the pump and EV charging stations, 3% at supermarkets, including most Target and Walmart locations, and restaurants, and on TV, radio, cable, and streaming services, 1x on everything else. And it's got a 15,000 point welcome offer when you spend $1,500 in the first 90 days. Cool.
It's not bad.
So if you qualify for PenFed, the PenFed Platinum Rewards card is pretty dang good.
Matt, please get your fairy wand out.
Double, I know you recently started a relationship with this bank. I would intensify that relationship as quickly as possible and see if you could like upgrade your account to the Premier checking account and then apply for the Premier version, because I think that they'll just give those away if you have a Premier account.
If you have 100,000 in dead cash to just park at US Bank, that's a great idea. Most people do not have 100,000 in dead cash to just park at US Bank.
Yeah, and dead cash meaning that like you have to put it into their checking account.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is US Bank did it in the dumbest way possible. Like because people just use it. Every time I log into US Bank, I have a, hey, do you want to apply for this card? Do you want to apply for this card now? How about now? Yeah. So it is fun. What else do you guys want to talk about? There's not a whole lot of news. I'm going to be redoing my desk after this, so that'll be fun. Because I really like having a camera, but it is not in the most convenient location, so I've got to change that. What else? What else is there? We did change our membership tiers. We now have 2. Friend of the show is the higher tier. SYP Insider is the lower tier in terms of cost per month. So please go check out SacredPoints.com. You can learn more about that. It has been a week since Hyatt changed everything. The sky is not yet fallen, but Hyatt did do their thing. Matt, any thoughts, feelings on the Hyatt situation?
We're gonna see how it goes with Hyatt overall. Like the worst of it is probably at least a year from now, in terms of like how bad things will get. So we'll just have to wait and see. However, if you are Explorist, a Globalist, or you hold the World of Hyatt credit card, you can now get an extra month of being able to book out. So that's cool.
No, QC man, it's 100,000 has to be in I think it's like 0.01% checking account to get the 4%.
Yeah, on like $10,000 in rewards.
And the Long Island is like on strike right now.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't remember what the prices are supposed to be between
like, it was a couple $100, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like $150 to ride the train to MetLife. Which, no, thank you.
Let's see here. Let's see if it'll. They've lowered it to $89. The road distance is 8.6 miles. The actual distance is many light years.
QC man, it's the other side of the Pritzker family. It is not JB specifically. Like, I've looked into it. It's JB's cousins.
He's not the one being like, all right, I need to sign this law for Illinois, and then I need to go do a Hyatt devaluation. He is not both sides of that.
No. Penny, though. No, I'm kidding.
But no, he is not the one personally devaluating Hyatt.
Also, JB's not running for president.
That's a whole other ball of wax.
Yeah, we're gonna get stuck with Gavin. I hate it.
Yeah. 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 So, any other things you guys want to talk about that's not that topic? Because I like monetization, and I would like YouTube to not demonetize this video.
That would be ideal. That would be ideal. I don't know who can win.
Matt, how about the Mets? You're in a Mets hat.
Bad.
I want to know. I want a live cam of you when that Inside the Park Grand Slam happened.
No, I just don't pay attention at this point. Like, I've given up on the season for now.
You've already given up?
I root for teams in blue and orange that aren't the Knicks. My life is pain.
Are you going to support the Knicks in the final?
I feel like if I do that, I would be shot. Because again,
why?
I am the harbinger of pain.
Why would I do this? Like, I'm genuinely asking, why would I do this? I have Priority Pass on my Platinum, and I have never once used it. Do you want to see a firing, Matt?
I don't know that firing Menendez fixes this, and David Stearns won't do it. And I don't know that firing David Stearns would fix this, because they just waited all that time for David Stearns. Also, Ozempic, not that bad. I'm on its cousin. It's fine. I'm not.
I think he's mostly saying he's doing it to lose
He's doing it to
to-
lose weight
to-
to run for president. Yeah.
Yes. Red Sox are 23 and 32. The Mets are 23 and 33. So like we're right there in the pain together.
Yep. Used to spend baseball today. Baseball can't hurt me today. Product exchange of double cast and no cost from cash. I just did it right now. There you go.
There you go.
It's still active for now. I thought you said you were done with your other U.S. bank cards. I might have misunderstood something you said earlier. Oh, no, she's just not sure if she's going to keep her U.S. bank cards.
Yeah, it's a question of like keep them as they are or cancel them. It's not a question of change. Like none of the other cards appeal to me.
I have
yeah.
2 priority pass cards now.
I have the platinum. I'm sure I have others, but I think the built card has priority pass as well. I just like where I fly is a hub for Delta. So I have lounge access there and I know where I'm going. Like I'm going to be in Detroit or I'm going to be at Atlanta or I'm going to be at LaGuardia.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know I'm going there. I know the good ones in Atlanta. I know the other ones. So for me, it's like I'm good. Yeah. Like the one I was in for San Diego was lovely. We were there for a couple hours. It was great. Woody Johnson finally won a trophy with Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the American owners of English football teams sort of just let people do things properly. Whereas here he doesn't. Although Darren Muji seems to be getting his flowers right now, which is weird that there's competent management being praised. Yes, QC man, the JetBlue Premier does have priority pass restaurants, so that's sweet.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
There is a new lounge that opened at MSP this week from the folks who do Gameway. So that's cool.
Really?
There's got a robotic bartender, so who knows what that's going to be like.
It's
like Gameway, but for adults.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about a robotic bartender. I'm sure the pours will be more accurate, which I'm sure people will not like. Like that's the thing when you go to like speed pours and things like that, the pours are accurate. People do not like that.
Yeah. So it never actually gained restaurants. That was a miscue. I think it was a mistake from MasterCard because MasterCard recently added its new lounges and like world legend MasterCards get access to that particular like restaurant lounge. And I think I don't know what the hell happened there. It was silliness, but it wasn't actually Built's fault, which I will give Built credit when it's not their fault. But yeah.
So apparently the Aura Ring 5 is now out. Pre-orders are $4.99 for the gold.
$100.
So let me see, because I have an Aura Ring. I really like it. So let me see if I'm going to next year upgrade to the 5. Oh, it's $3.99 for. You know, we were saying if you have an Aura Ring, why would you like need the credit again? Well, guess what? Aura Ring just came out with a new one. I did not at all look at the musical instruments. I was looking at camera bodies and lenses and things, so I just was not in that particular part of the store. So I don't actually know. I could spend a lot of time and a lot of money there if I really put my mind to it. So I tried to actually physically be in store as little as possible.
Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah.
It's far enough out that if they're not hitting their sales target, they'll slap a nice big sale on it.
The problem is a lot of people have already used the Aura Ring credit for the year. So like they've got to wait until like I have to wait until January. At least I know my size, so like I don't have to worry about that.
Yes, and you can stack those a whole bunch of different ways.
The thing though is like for like sleep tracking, heart rate, things like that, it is nice. I'm a woman, so there's other things that you can track, you know, things like that help.
Yep.
Going to 7.
The Knicks get to rest up, so there's that. Not that I'm saying the Knicks are going to win the NBA final or anything like that, but like they're in, they've got their downtime right now. Sometimes downtime can be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Besides turning the tournament to a 6x dining card using Rakuten Dining per shopping portal, are there any other ways to get more than 1x base multiplier through other workarounds? Purchase
you can book hotels through travel.
There's book hotels through travel. There's the direct airline purchases. They always have spending offers on the card for sure. Whatever purchases you can make through Rakuten and just making Rakuten a membership reward point earning capability, adding in the Rakuten card for sure. But like base just on the card itself, no. But also, they really need to add an accelerator to that card.
They do. The nice thing about the Platinum, though, for me, like I will take 1x if I want the purchase protection.
Yeah.
So you do have to balance that, right? Like it's not all about points. Sometimes it actually is about purchase protection. Get the business plat and spend more than 5K. Again, yep. Like that's a lot to drop at once, right? Like it's easy to say that, but again, you've got to drop 5K in a single purchase. It's not like if you spend 5K over like 7 purchases, you get it.
Yeah.
And yes, it is
a general contractor.
Yeah.
Yep. Physical
being
health,
a general contractor, I'm sure helps.
Yeah, because they're base 2x. Also, Bank of America has launched credit card referrals now, so you can earn up to $100 per referral, up to 5 times per card. If you're in the Bank of America ecosystem, Bank of America has realized, hey, getting more customers, always a good idea.
Matt, we're at an hour and 56 minutes.
Yep.
What is your prediction for the next card that we talk about as quote breaking end quote news?
Hoping it's a premium Hyatt card. I'm hoping it's a premium Hyatt card because I'm holding out hope for a premium Hyatt card. What's the next thing Wells Fargo is dropping? Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Card. Yeah. What's the next thing Wells Fargo is dropping? Update to the travel portal.
Yes.
Don't have anything else yet, but I should know soon.
So it's not if it's better or not. It is very good, and their process from the claims perspective tends to be very good. It's that I don't have either the CSR or Venture-X. So I don't care about their purchase protection because I don't have it. So for me, the Delta cards or the Platinum are where I put things that absolutely need that protection. Or I just buy protection. If it's like an iPhone, I'm just going to buy AppleCare.
Yeah, and if you have CSR or the Venture-X as your base card and they had those purchase protections, you'd probably be prioritizing those at 1 or 2.
I am not looking forward to the price of AppleCare on the new folding phone.
No, that's going to be expensive.
WWDC is in like 2 weeks, so we're gonna get a taste of a few things.
Drop in the phone then.
No. But what they bring up then is going to directly relate to what the phone is going to look like in September.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
So,
next card news: surprise transfer partner acquisition or loss. My friend
Wells Fargo is getting Delta.
No, they're not.
Wells Fargo is 1-to-1 with Amex.
That would be fun. Not. It'd be interesting. You'd sooner see Wells grab like Rove or Built.
Wells Fargo buying Built right now would be hilarious.
Yes, I have to imagine they have first right of refusal to buy them. I just don't think they want to. First right of refusal at this point, but like, no, Built's not getting sold anytime soon. No. Anyway, but if they were, I have to imagine that the original structure of the deal with Wells Fargo was Wells would get first right of refusal if it ever came up to that. Yeah, next transfer partner thing I would have to imagine is honestly not going to be credit card specific. I think it's just going to be Rove is going to come out with another surprise transfer partner, because I can't think of anyone else Built can get right now that's really going to blow the doors off of anything.
No.
Rove could get one of the big three in the not too distant future, and that would
be
surprise
interesting.
people. Yeah.
United would be my guess, just because Built has it, and they're the only one of the big three outside of that, outside of their primary partner. I don't know if it's gotten worse. I think they're just much more into branded categories.
So let's see. I don't think it's gotten. I think they've sort of. I personally think the Freedom Flex has just run its course. I think rotating category cards have run their course. I think the best way to give the Freedom Flex or a facelift is just make it the US Bank Cash Plus card for Chase. Honestly,
that would be fantastic. I am definitely getting the new phone. Are you definitely getting the new phone?
The folding phone, I don't know. Probably getting an iPhone 18. I don't know that I want to, there's a big part of me that's going to want the folding phone because new tech, new toy.
Mm-hmm.
There's another part of me that goes first generation, let them work out any kinks that are going to arise. They think they've worked out the kinks, but they probably haven't worked out the kinks.
I agree with all of that, and I will be ordering the folding phone the second it launches. Yeah. And thank you for the $1.99 QC, man.
Thank you, sir. Auto 1.5 in the Wells portal, Matt. I don't know. I'm hoping. And if not 1.5, at least 1.25. Sam, I really hope that a BNPL firm doesn't buy them. I would much rather Chase buy them. I would much rather Wells Fargo buy them. I would much rather a bank buy them. They would lose Lufthansa in that process, which would suck. And those people are doing awesome things, and I don't want them to necessarily lose their jobs. But I'm really hoping that Klarna doesn't buy them. Do you think there'll be any lawsuits between Wells Fargo and Built because of the breakup? I'm surprised where it's in May and it's been 6 months. Honestly, I would imagine that
if there was going to be, I would have expected it to have happened by now.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any lawsuits on that one, just because Wells Fargo still remains an investor. And I still think they have their investment contracts. I don't, and I'm sure that Built probably had to pay them a kill fee. Maybe Built had to pay them a kill fee, or Wells Fargo just cut their losses and consider that, the continued losses as a kill fee.
I get it. I gave up my iPad mini because I want an iPad mini in my pocket. She did.
She did. I don't know if there's going to be anything that comes from it, but we'll see.
All right, Matt. We've hit our 2-hour mark.
We have.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about this week?
No, I think we're good. I don't know that there's any. I will sometimes have my various sources up just to see if anything breaks after 10 o'clock at night. Why? I don't know. I'm weird.
Sometimes it does.
God knows what gets posted in the r/credit card subreddit sometimes, or the Chase Sapphire subreddit sometimes. So no, I think we're good. We will just have to wait and see what the next rounds of news will be. We're getting it to the end of the first half of the year. So, this is the end of Q2. We're coming up to the end of Q2. Summer travel is about to start. So if there's any card issuers that want to try and capitalize on summer travel and capitalize on grabbing people's attention for the beginning of summer travel, releasing a refresh would probably be, in the next 3 to 4 weeks would probably make a certain amount of sense. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Chase or Citi, get on it. Or Amex with the green, because Amex promised more refreshes and they've been silent on that front. They've added new credits to the business cards and they're killing the corporate card program, or they're killing the
discount,
save the discount at the end of next year, or in October of next year.
And that was another big piece of news that dropped today, but like I didn't find the space for it in Tidbits, and we don't utilize the discount.
We're not really the corporate card market.
No. Although I'm surprised that you don't get it, that you don't qualify for the discount.
You have to have a corporate card. Yes,
but I'm sure that you have to personally hold a corporate card.
You have to hold a corporate card.
Okay.
I do not. I am trusted with many things at my job, but a corporate card is not one of them.
Fair. I also am not trusted with a corporate card at my job, and I don't necessarily want to be. So yeah, no, that discount's going away, but like we're still waiting on a green refresh.
Mm-hmm. I'm genuinely agree. I'm shocked that it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I thought it would have happened last month. I'm surprised it hasn't happened this month. We
haven't heard about many worldwide either.
No, like the last worldwide piece of news that I remember is that they're killing Etiquette as a transfer partner worldwide right now. There have been other cards that have been refreshed in the last 12 months worldwide. I think the German Platinum got a refresh not too long ago, but like they were still doing Platinum refreshes. I thought they would be accelerating more US based refreshes. So yeah, I don't know. Still no World of Hyatt, a higher end World of Hyatt card. The next date to possibly hope to see one would probably be June 30th with the new booking capabilities that they're giving, extending to Explorers, Globalists, and cardholders. Yeah, it does suck for those folks. Oh, okay, good. But yeah, no, I can't really think of anything else. We'll just have to see what else springs up. But like last week there was nothing, the week before there was nothing, and this week there was the custom cash. So news can change on a dime.
It can. Matt, the plane has landed. Take us home.
Hey, that means it's time to say goodnight, Matt.
Good night, Matt.
Night, RJ. Night, everyone. Ooh, Blue Origin just lost a rocket.
Yes, I saw that. It's not good.
All
right. On that lovely note, everybody, be safe. Have a good week. We'll see you on Monday.